we'll be comparing the Stihl BR800 and the Echo PB8010. I do have footage of these in action, which will be after this clip here. I'll talk over that in that footage. So what I'll show you here is just compare the two blowers, what they look like, what they feel like, what I like, what I don't like. So this is how you probably normally see them in the dealership. And this is from MPS. First thing that is quite useful for storing the blower if you're not going to be using it every day or something is this hook here, just to keep the blower more compact, where the Echo doesn't have that. It's just lock it in. What you can do is do that, stop it flopping about too much, but not really easy to do. So just comparing them side by side. So you're just going to compare these side by side, see what they look like, see what I like, see what I don't like, and we'll go from there. So the Stihl, it's got this tube mounted on this little clip here, quite a nice little feature, especially if you're storing the blower or if it's in a dealership. It's a bit more compact, quite nice. It's quite a bit more sort of a polished machine in terms of this engine cowling covering the whole unit. There's no big gaps anywhere, a few slots, but that's normal. Where you compare it to the Echo, you've got gaps. This is the carb, it's all exposed and everything. You've got gaps here and everything. It looks a bit funky. Some people don't like it. Doesn't really bother me, to be honest. But when I did see someone else compare these two, they were saying how this just looks a bit more finished, a bit more, I don't know, just a bit more pleasing to look at because it's just sort of all covered up. Then for the air filter, the Echo, it's under here. Undo these two clips, it's under there. Just still as normal. Take off the side cover and air filters in there. Another thing, the Stihl's got this nice handle here, well placed, very comfortable. The Echo is behind the air filter, over here. Again, comfortable, no complaints really. In terms of weight, I believe these are fairly similar weight wise. I believe this is heavier, I could be wrong. But if you lift them up, because the tube is hanging on the floor, it does feel a bit different, but that does feel lighter. Both feel well balanced. So the other thing that is Stihl's big thing is this side start, which you have to sort of put it and then put it again. I've already mentioned that in the review, not a fan of that myself. But Echo, I've got a normal pull, and I find Echo's pull start system that they have is probably the nicest out there in the market. So things like accessing things like getting to the fuel tank, Stihl sort of tucked away nicely. Not going to get it caught on bushes or anything. The Echo is sticking out a bit. Haven't had any problems yet. Both got decent sized openings. I'd say Stihl's opening is that little bit bigger, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So one thing when cold starting, generally with Stihl, you would put your foot on this foot plate here, and then you put it. You don't really need to with this side start. It's a bit more. You can sort of just place your hand there and put it that way or upwards or whatever. But the Echo doesn't have a foot plate really. You might be able to put your foot there, but no, all I do, push down the air filter and pull, no problem whatsoever. So in terms of comfort, Stihl have worked hard to develop new straps which are a lot better, and this is how it comes from the dealership. Got your chest strap, got your hip belt, which is all great to see. Unfortunately, on the Echo, this being mine, I've put Stihl chest straps on it, which I've done for years, because Echo don't do chest straps. Quite lucky that they do fit, so do that. And an option you can buy from Echo is this hip belt, again very good, much the same, but Echo straps are a lot thicker, they're about an inch thick, nice and comfy, with a Stihl it's about a centimetre-ish thick, so this is a lot more comfortable. We've got this foam here which is nice and comfortable, but still it's just the same strap material. Both are comfortable, but that is even more comfortable. One of the main things that I think Stihl wins in terms of, if you're tallying up points of useful features, is this tube. You slide up and down, you slide it up and down. Sandwich around that MPS. Yeah, good feature. You can adjust this different lengths. If you're just flat out in like a field like this, you just want it fully extended, and away you go. With the Echo, you can adjust them, but it's a lot more fidgety. You don't really save much room, so that is useful. Bear in mind in the back of vans, and if you're going around flower beds, having it like that is quite useful. So in terms of the grip, Echo, they brought this grip out a few years ago. Very nice, comfortable, big chunky trigger lever. That's your cruise control, and then off. Nice and easy. Stihl, again, they've had this out for a little while, came out on the BR700. Fairly comfortable. I don't like this black bit under the trigger, just a little bit sharp at places in the joint, but that's okay. This is your cruise control, so it's up, off, push down, and it springs back up, which some people like on the Stihl products, that it springs back up, so you're not pulling and realising you still got it turned off. If you are using both machines, you just have to remember what way you turn off. So if you want to turn cruise control on this, you'll be turning that off. And small thing, but another useful thing. Do that. Just the position of the handle. In the Echo, you can do the same. You have to slacken off that screw, and then you can slide it up and down. So you do need a tool. If you undo this, I don't know if you can see it, but you can adjust the angle of this, which is useful. Still, you can't do that. So with the tube fully extended on the Stihl, it's still not as long as the Echo, not by much, but one thing to show, a wear ring on the Echo, which I think they've patented actually. Bigger tube than the Stihl, a little bit bigger, just helps get all that power through the tube onto the leaves, moss, debris, whatever you're blowing. So that is useful. It does take a bit of time to get used to that, going from a smaller blower. So I'll put the footage of them in action now. Seen the footage, you can make up your mind which acts or performs better. One I prefer out of the two I've bought will be the Echo. One being the dealer, MPS, who are kind enough to let me borrow their 800 just for this video, because I've got to shoot this when I had the one on demo from Stihl. Thanks to Stihl as well, very kind people at Stihl GB. Just worth noting, MPS has sold 2 of these and about 15 of these in the last 2-3 months, so that gives you the indication of the power of an Echo dealer and what people are using. I prefer the comfort of this. Starting it is nice on that. Bigger fuel tank as well, more comfortable, more power. If you're going to buy a backpack, buy the most powerful one. No point buying a mid-range blower unless you can't deal with the weight. The Stihl, it's got its good points, built-in straps and everything, chest strap, hip belt, it's good. Fuel tank, pretty good, but it just hasn't got the oomph that this has. The machine I demoed, I don't know if it was just the one that I used or if it's a common thing with them when they're worn in, that it couldn't stay on full power. Trigger down, not using the cruise control, it was losing power, it wouldn't stay on full revs. So that would put me off having one of these machines. Echo, no problem whatsoever. It is quite a noisy machine. That's probably one of the biggest things people are saying, apart from the pure power that it has. Being a 2-stroke, it's supposed to be the 4-mix. 2-stroke's always going to be more powerful than a 4-mix, but 4-mix is more fuel efficient. Still say better to have a more efficient machine because of fuel costs, but I would debate if you have a more powerful machine, you might use a little bit more fuel, but you get the job done quicker. So you're using less fuel by getting the job done quicker. So there you are, small thing. Being honest, if all the dealers nearby were only Stihl, not Echo, I probably wouldn't even have Echo stuff. So the power of dealers being Echo, that's the reason I bought this blower. So Stihl is a good blower, but with the problems that I had with it not staying on full power, would definitely put me off buying it. It doesn't sound any louder than a BR800, which is a bit concerning since it's a much bigger engine, so not too sure why that is. This is a monster, and it'd be good to see how this gets on clearing scarifying mess and all that sort of stuff. As this is replacing the Echo 770 that I've been using for 5-6 years. That's pretty good, and this is just another level, so looking forward to the year ahead with this machine. So yeah, so I hope you found that useful. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe, and I will catch you soon.